I get in there and I start, she's like, okay, show me what you have. And I start playing things and immediately she just picks up her phone and just starts doing this.
Wow.
So now I'm like, yo, I'm blown. She's bored.
Exactly.
Like usually when an exec does that, it's done. It's done. And so she picks up her phone and just starts saying, I'm like, flip. But I'm just playing her records and then she's like, what are you doing on Monday? So I'm like, I think I have class on Monday, but
yeah. Going to school on Monday.
Yeah, and she's like, cool, you have a meeting at Parkwood. And I'm like, oh, okay, what's Parkwood? She's like kind of looks at me like, what do you mean? Like, it's Beyonce's label. So I'm like,
welcome to the Pup of the Pup.
Literally, that's Nelson Mandela saying, together we can literally do more. The journey continues.
Welcome to the Pup. Welcome to the Pup. To the pot. Welcome to. Oh, there's a producer here who has certified this Posties.
We've got that stamp, guys, from our guests today. But first, I have to say, Sanbonani, guys. Hello, Posties family. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey, for liking, commenting, subscribing, saying what's up to us in person. We see you going
We see you going
we got a gift for you. And not just a guest.
Not just a guest, bro.
Special presents.
Amen.
Very special.
Amen.
Very special guest.
I think this one needs like a pause after every title because you just needed to let it sink in, you know what I'm saying? Ladies and gentlemen, we are the talented. Let it sink in. You know what I'm saying? Grammy nominated, Grammy haver, producer, writer, creative, and a genius. My guy. Literally. On this one. His name is Bubele Booi. How you doing, Babs?
hello.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Posties, finally. Welcome to Post. You know when you start something and you have goals and you set them out? Yes, sir. This is one of them coming full circle. We've been having this conversation for a while here.
Yes.
How you been?
I've been good, guys.
It's
nice to start the year.
Yeah.
Homeland, bro.
Yeah.
I love to be home. I'm not trying to spend December or January in America ever.
That makes sense.
How are you feeling actually? Yeah, are you tired?
No, I actually feel quite rejuvenated. Typically at the end of the year, I'm so exhausted.
Yeah.
It's just drained. But this year, I don't know. I feel like I really connected with my creativity in a way that's like energized me. So even at the end of the year, I'm like tired in the sense of like I could use a break, but it's not like I need to stop. It's not like there's no more gas in the tank. It's just
that's crazy.
Alright, cool. Let's take a break. Let's have some fun. Let's go to the beach, hang out with the family, and then get right to it. You know?
Yes, sir.
Continue creating that empire, man. I love it.
How does it feel to say that?
It feels like an absolute relief. I think that the journey that I've been on has been, it's so tough, and like every year it gets harder.
Yeah. And
so eventually you kind of get tired of being beaten down and like reaching the end of the year and feeling like, yo, that was tough. Yeah. Whereas this year I'm like, yo, that was tough, but kind of good.
Kind of enjoy it.
I feel like I really love the fact that the pendulum is starting to swing now and things are starting to move in the right direction. And it's still not easy, but it's like, okay, all right.
It's a challenge. You're feeling excited when you see it coming.
Yeah, it's a challenge, but it's also like I think you have to have the creative and the emotional energy to have to be able to position yourself in a way to do something for a long time, not just like for an intense time.
And that's why you're on the break right now.
So this is why I'm just on a holiday.
You deserve it, man.
Things coming in, we got emails, and I say,
I will see you when I need to see you.
I'm ready to post these podcasts.
I have an out of office auto reply.
I love that. I think before we get into that journey and where the pendulum started, I think we have to start somewhere, Alex.
It's time for that. Drip cap. Oh, so I'm working today. Yo, Drip Cam is a segment of the show, Babs, where we let you put on what you got on. So, what you wearing, bro? Who's the brand?
Okay.
Where they from? What's their name?
Because we know you're looking good, man.
That's
I
fact.
appreciate it. Actually, okay. So
Yes, sir.
this one I have to. So I went to this store in LA that they do sample sales.
Okay.
And
That's Los Angeles, guys.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there. And I've actually forgotten the name of this brand. Here, Common Market.
Common Market. Okay.
Common Market, and they.
Clean.
Is this from LA or is it from Joburg? I don't even remember at this point.
Hey.
Same thing.
Common Market.
609.
It might be Country Road at this point. Who knows? I like denim because even when it gets washed out, you can see it's lost its color, but it's still like I still love it.
It just becomes cooler the more you wash it out.
Gets cooler. These pants I just got at a store here in Cape Town, the international store. I'm not gonna name brands because they don't need more advertising.
Yes.
They need to pay. Just a plain white tee and okay, this is.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
The
Thank
real
you.
ones take off their
Thank
shoes on
you.
this podcast. Shout out to
Wow.
Here we go.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. The 202.
I love them. I have a pair in purple, and so like a week ago I bought these in this like.
They look comfortable after you like.
They're so comfortable.
The inside.
But I also like this like 90s dad aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like the swag is swagging today. I won't lie.
Jeans, like
literally.
Versatile.
I like it. I was like, am I picking up my kids from school or what? Like I kind of like that.
Exactly. It's that mystery vibe. You know, it could be anything.
Exactly. I've literally been going through old family photos and looking at what my dad was wearing. And recreating it. And then I want to do a segment of like looking at the things that I wore as a child, like a 5-year-old,
and then recreating. Oh, that's fine. That is fine. Who wore it better?
Yeah, it's tough. It's that my dad came with it in university.
Now Uta's got it.
What's the business?
He has this leather jacket that I love. It's like a cropped leather jacket, and it's just immaculate. And I have it to
cropped
this
leather
day.
jacket.
Yeah,
What
it's
you
amazing.
saying?
And now it's
What
like
is he doing? Sheesh.
he bought things to last. He wasn't like anything.
Wasn't playing that game.
I love that mindset.
So it's very. I think that also like stylistically I change every year like what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And this year I don't know what I'm doing, but I've been noticing I've been leaning a little bit more monochrome. So I'm
Okay.
that might be the vibe
It's
for the
just
year.
rainbow out this year. January red, February brown.
He's going like
Hey, from who knows? Timber, what you got on my brother?
Bruh, guys, today I was feeling a little nostalgic, you
Yes,
know.
sir.
Those who know.
Yes,
bruh.
sir.
This was TFG Stereo. So that's the brand I'm repping today, guys. The good old days, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't, you know. We've got someone in the live studio audience who doesn't want to answer that question.
Handsome, what you say?
Hey, hello, handsome. Hey, yo, so. Alex, what are you saying, my guy?
It's too much.
Is it getting too much?
It's too much.
But I was gonna say earrings also fire.
Thank you. I just got these done.
Ne?
So they are less than a week. You know when it's still painful when you sleep.
Yeah, I do.
You have to put your head.
With the angle.
Yeah, the angle, or you have to sleep like half on your back.
Exactly.
So I'm still there.
Alex, what you saying?
What I got on Oaks, it is hot in Cape Town. Yeah, Chitselwa. You know what I'm saying? So the boy said, I'm ready for this thing. I got my partner up top, Code. We love you, Code. I say, Happy New Year, Code. Code, you're looking handsome this year, Code. You know what I'm saying? Code, wife beat up the top, down bottom. You know the boy is a classic boy, you know? So I just said a little. I'm gonna first just show you the little silhouette.
My guy loves standing up.
You know what I'm saying? Look at that fit. You know what I'm talking about? A little Calvin Klein situation. Down bottom just to do it. And then the Crocs, because I love my Crocs. And then some Tiger
You loved
Beats.
them before they were trendy.
Bro, I had orange Crocs that like I walked on a piece of like glass.
And then between grade 8 and no?
I'm not gonna lie.
I love how you called him out so nicely. You let him build it up and you're like, and then
What happened?
Yo, I know it's hot.
no, it's hot, guys.
Yeah, no, it's hot. Yeah.
But we're still bringing you a Posties.
Bringing that heat.
Just put on that air conditioner, bro.
No, it's fine. The sound is more important. I've been in sweaty studios where there's no aircon. Then you have to.
Oh man,
You gotta get the tape.
I love working with a hard worker and an artist, and which leads me to how we're gonna enter this thing. Babs, bro, where does Babs come from, bro? This idea, this person.
Do you mean like as a person or the nickname?
As a person. As a person.
Yeah, even the nickname. You know, I've moved away from it.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's only like my Cape Town folks even.
Oh really?
Use that.
Hey, I'm international, bro. When I have to call you, what's your name? What's your name?
No, I just go by my full name, Bubele.
Bubele?
Yeah, I felt like.
And then how do the international say?
No, Bubele. I don't know. It
Depends where he's at.
Bubele. Yeah. Bubele. Yeah. I think that for me it was very important when I moved to the States to be like, no, I'm from South Africa. Like this is my heritage. My name isn't particularly hard. It's not like it doesn't have clicks or the RH type of stuff. And I just felt like it was important for me to solidify that, and so I just left it behind, you know. And it's been interesting. But for me, like who I am as a person and where the genesis of that came from, it's very hard to summarize yourself as a human in a few sentences.
That's crazy.
But I think like the amalgamation of my influences is that I'm 100% a nerd. I'm very much a nerd. Like I love computers, coding as a kid. Like me and my dad would like build computers. My friends, we would like talk about the components. The new graphics card is out. Like we were super into that. And then I love music, and I think my love for music was seen as a kid. Like my parents saw it, and then my dad was just a rock star. Like family prayer time, he did the guitar, the piano, and I sort of like he was the first rock star that I knew. So I just sort of like wanted to be like him. And those two things were very separate. And then there was a point in my life where my dad came back with a new computer. I was like, oh, technology, I love it. I'm going to check it out. So I open it up, start clicking about, and then I click on this little icon and it has a guitar and it just bounces up and down. And open it.
May I interject? How old are you at this time?
I think I'm 12.
You're 12. You see that Irish guitar?
Yeah. I've never seen a Mac before. Like they didn't exist in the country. They weren't like Mac only came into South Africa like late for us. So when I was maybe like 12 or 11.
2011.
No, 2011 I was in grade 11. Jeez. I was aged 11. Damn! So I don't know what year that was. But,
but you were like 12?
Yeah, and that was like, okay, this is crazy. Just sitting there at the table, I was like, this is what I want to do. It is the exact crossfade between the thing that I love, which is music, and technology. And then I was like, okay, this is it. And it just, from there, it was full steam ahead. The second my father walks in the door, it's like, hi Dad, how are you doing? Can I use your computer? And just consistently, I downloaded and cracked all the different production softwares, tried them all out, and found a guy on my campus who was rapping. He wanted to be Eminem at that point, so I was like, I'll make beats, let's go.
And this is like primary school?
Like end of primary school into high school.
Crazy.
And we like really got into the swing of things when I was like grade 8, grade 9.
In that part of that journey, were you like cognizant of like where you were trying to go with merging those two like kind of art forms? Or was it the thing of like, I really love this thing right now, let's just go?
No, it was clear to me that it was emerging. I wasn't even trying to merge them. Because when you're a producer, you're looking at like, how can I create the sound, right? Which is very creative based. You hear a thing in your head and you have to manifest that, but you have to manifest it through science.
The rules.
It's like, okay, this is the synthesizer. I have 3 oscillators. All right, which like now suddenly you're thinking about waveforms and like oscillators and like all sorts of things, and that's very science based, right? And now for me, it's like, oh, that's cool because my brain already works in both of those ways. So now just being a producer is just, it fires both sides of my brain immediately. And that's what makes this thing so interesting.
That's amazing. Jeez. That's amazing. Can I ask now, so at this point, right, you're rocking out with the boys on campus, you're rocking out at home, your dad doesn't even own his own laptop, right? When does it change from, okay, I'm just having fun with this thing, to like, there's a hyperdrive now. There's like somewhere I'm trying to go with this thing. Or was it like that from the beginning?
From the beginning. Like when I discovered how much I like this thing, I sort of like all my other interests fell away. It's very interesting to see like I used to be a big gamer.
Yeah.
Within a year of doing music, I didn't play games anymore.
Wow.
Like it was just taking all of my time. Every Saturday we had band practice. Every Saturday we were recording a new song.
Passion,
like I was constantly on the prowl to find equipment. Like I'm very privileged to be like, oh, my parents were involved in a church that wanted to record sermons, and they bought an audio interface, but then no one at the church knew how to use it, so they were just lying around. I was like,
opportunity for you.
And then another friend was like, I have this microphone that my dad's company doesn't use, and I was like, okay, microphone, cool. And like little by little, oh, there's this keyboard lying around. I literally like built my first studio without owning a single piece of gear. And that's just like scrummaging and finding people like don't really know what they have lying around sometimes, or you know, you just have to be very resourceful, and it's a privilege to be in like the middle class school where like people have these kind of things lying around, they don't really know about it. So yeah, and then it just took off really well, like once we started making music in high school, and like I took it so seriously. We started like, I think there was a day when I was like, oh, this might happen. Is I was working with my band, which was called Prototype at the time.
Prototype.
Dope name.
Prototype.
Dope name.
Yeah. And we submitted, there's this nerdy magazine called Future Tech. And it's just music production from the UK. And I would get all of the resources, and it would come, all the issues would come, and then there's a demo submission thing. So I was like, hey, let me send. So I sent a submission, and like the next 3 months later,
your twin is staring at you out the window. Hey, you, bro. Hey. For the viewers there, we have a future special guest.
Doppelganger.
The doppelganger. Shout out, Manana.
So yeah, it was just like we submitted it 3 months later. It was featured in it. I'm like, this is like an international publication. We were just freaking out. For me, it was the coolest moment.
Wow.
It
ever.
makes it real.
You're like,
And
oh, it's real. Like,
it
I can win.
Mm-hmm.
I can do this and win. Get that like satisfaction of I'm going somewhere, making progress in something. Okay, now that's dope, dude. So like now at this stage, you decide, all right, cool. I'm gonna go and study music. Was that an easy decision? What did your parents say? 2 questions.
Parents.
I love the lean back. They're like, it takes you back to the time.
So I foresaw this happening. I foresaw that it was going to be difficult. One thing that my parents did not compromise on is education at all. So from the time you enter high school, you pick your subjects. They're like, you're taking maths, you're taking science. And so I took those 2 things. And through this music career, they were seeing me make these steps and bounds without dropping school. Right? So like I had an A aggregate throughout the whole of high school. And that was important to them. At the same time, we're doing the magazine features. We're getting played on radio. We're like doing talent composition. It's moving. So they're seeing that like I'm actually like committed to doing this thing, but I'm not compromising. So I think that was very important to them. So when it came time to be like, I really want to pursue this thing, I think they saw momentum already in the thing that I'm trying to pursue. And I'm trying to do the academic route, you know. Dada doesn't want Damaka, but like everyone needs to be educated, you know. Exactly. And so like it's like if you're gonna do music, at least be educated in this. And like for me, like God's timing was crazy because when I started at UCT, they had the music program, but the music technologies course wasn't there.
About that, bro. How's that?
I think Milan also touched on it when we had him on the podcast too.
Like so key to hear.
So for me, it was crazy because I went to college and like everyone is like a hip musician. Like I was immediately bottom of the food chain. Exactly. These guys are good musicians, but I knew why I was there. And the music technology program started the year that I arrived.
Did you know it was there?
God's time.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we'd spoken to the professor who was going to start it. So yeah, man, it was just the timing of it was amazing. But what I loved is that it's hard to be at music campus because it's like it's a music conservatory. It's not like High School Musical or like anything that I thought music campus was gonna be. Like these kids are like classical and jazz are the ultimate art forms, and anything else is really like substandard. And so when I'm there being like, I want to make pop music, like radio bangers, people are like, you know, and lecturers look down on contemporary music wildly. You know, it's simple, it's just 4 chords, it's reductive, whatever. And so I had to put up with a lot of those things and those comments. And the first 2 years, no one really got it. Like I've said this before, but there was a kid who's like, what's your instrument? The computer?
That's
and I was like, you know, but that kid went on to get a second degree and like, they didn't do the music thing, like, and I'm here, and I think that's because I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And being there in the music technology program was kind of like the weird kids, and there weren't many of us. And my professor is a mad genius. And the day that I realized that this man I'm so grateful for him, Professor Herb, shout out, is I was sitting in the studio and I was making some like weird like dubstep.
It was like at school, for school.
But I'm like in the studio, just making like I'm just making weird dubstep. Like I was in my maximalist, you know, Skrillex was the hottest.
And you're playing with them,
So I'm there trying to be Skrillex, and Professor comes in, and Prof is old. He's an Afrikaans man. He's like late 50s, 60s.
This is the first time you've seen this stuff.
Afrikaans man, he's worn the same thing every single day since I've known him. Black shoes, blue jeans, white button-up shirt. Every single day. And he walks in, Mr. Boy. And then he walks in and he hears what's happening and he reaches for the volume.
He's gonna put it down now, he's gonna end it now.
And he just goes and he cranks it up.
And he goes, that is a sign of
fantastic. What do you call this? And I was like, oh, okay, now Prof gets it. And he just looked at me, he's like, look, I don't understand what you're trying to do. He makes very experimental music. Like some of you, like if you heard his stuff, some people won't classify it as music. Like it's crazy weird. Crazy. It's like trippy music. And he was like, I don't understand what you're trying to do, but I will support you every single step of the way. Wow. And I think it takes so much maturity and like I don't know what it even takes as a lecturer to see something in a kid and be like, I'm gonna support you even though I don't understand. How can I better help you one by one? And like
it's that belief in yourself as an individual.
Exactly.
I think that's where it has to stem from.
Exactly. And my happiest day was the day I got my own studio keys. That was university, the day that, because we had keys and Prof would stay late. He'd stay like 2-3 hours late. Bear in mind, he lives like in Somerset West.
Yes, of course.
And he'd stay late just for me. Eventually, he was like, nah, here you go. Here's your own keys.
Wow.
And
that's like a hustle, you know?
Literally.
They had to give you the keys. Sheesh.
And it seems like you also had this like hustle nature in yourself like the whole time. And like I want to actually not necessarily speed it up a little bit, but like actually just go to the next step. And you did wrap up at UCT very well. And then the next step was on a thing of like, I love what's happening in South Africa, but you needed something to like maybe broaden your mind. But why was the next step abroad?
The music industry is just so much bigger overseas. And so it felt like within the genre of what was exciting to me, I was starting to reach the ceiling. Not at the top. There are people who are doing well, but I mean, it's like I'm in university and me and David are producing these songs and they're like on the radio.
David, man.
Hey, I was going to mention that. Literally, it's chilling in the house and it's like, oh, someone's coming here to record. And you're like, cool. And you're sitting there and you're like, no words. Like,
exactly. And it's like our little apartment there in just off of campus. We just had like crazy people like walking in and like, I remember when like Lyra came to the house and I was like, wow, this is one of the legends in the game. Like, she's like in our apartment, in our like little recording thing.
And we're making music.
Yeah, you know, and like that was amazing. And so
Lyra crazy though.
Lyra. So yeah, it was just dope. And so we just moved. Eventually I felt like, okay, I need to do the next step. So the next step for me is to just go and be a small fish once again. In a big pond.
In the big apple.
It's a big pond. And it was like, okay, I need to figure out a way to do this. And so you sneak in under the radar, you get a visa, student visa, you study, but I'm like pretty much just skipping class and just going to studios the whole time. And then little by little you figure out what the steps are. Like you can't ever plan out the steps. When I look back, I'm like, oh, it was easy, 1, 2, 3. But actually, like in it, you just have to figure it out.
And it's crazy because looking at the credits and looking at just the collaborations that you have, like I could list them out.
Don't
and
need to do
like
that.
I think we might.
Like page. You know what I'm saying? Because we can name drop and like, but the point is that like the work that you've done on that side is actually notable. Now the question would now be like, this little fish in this big pond comes through. And then in a couple of years, he's chilling with Bun and Johnny. Hell, what was driving you in that like little state to be like, you know what? Like even if I'm not from here, and even if I'm not the biggest man here, I'm still gonna get in those rooms, and I'm still going to show you guys what I have, and like I'm gonna turn it up. What was driving you to get that?
At that point, you were just trying to survive.
Yeah.
You don't have money to
rent.
Yeah, genuinely. Like that's what's driving us now. Is it's so expensive to live in the States that you have to be on. You just have to be working, and you don't have time really to second guess yourself, because when you do get in that room, it's no longer about, oh my gosh, I'm in the room with so and so. It's like, okay, let's do it.
Job done.
It's that time. Like you leave that at the door. And then you sit in, and there's like the cool moments are when you're sitting there and you're hitting record. You're like, yo, I know this person's voice.
Yeah.
And now they're like on a song that I'm working on. That's a very cool moment.
That's dope.
But
That's dope.
outside of that, you can't let yourself think too much about like who they are, what they've done, who they worked with. We're all just trying to get a good song.
Before you also run away from that, can I read something that you actually wrote? It says, almost a year ago, a South African kid left home with a suitcase and a keyboard.
This guy stole my notes.
That same African kid was given an opportunity to produce a song for Beyoncé. That kid is me, and I'm humbled. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
How? How did that happen? How did that get set up?
So I met a woman who worked at Universal Music Publishing. She had just taken a job. I've been trying to get a meeting there for some time, and I just couldn't. And so,
was it still in your first year in the States?
First year in the States. I'm trying to get this meeting at Universal, and no one's really taking it. Eventually, I think someone left the company or gets fired or something, and then there's a new woman who comes in.
Let's call him Chad.
Yeah, Chad gets fired.
Chad gets fired.
And then
Chad gets his ass fired.
a black woman by the name of Ari Galore, shout out black women, come into it, and she was like, "Oh, I'll take the."
Wow.
I'll take the meeting with this African kid. And so I get in there and she's like, okay, show me what you have. And I start playing things, and immediately she just picks up her phone and just starts doing this.
Wow.
So now I'm like, yo, I'm blown. She's bored.
Exactly.
Like usually when an exec does that, it's done. It's done. And so she picks up her phone and just starts saying, I'm like, flip. But I'm just playing her records. And then she's like, what are you doing on Monday? So I'm like, I think I have class on Monday, but
yeah. I'm going to school on Monday.
Yeah, and she's like, cool, you have a meeting at Parkwood. And I'm like, oh, okay, what's Parkwood? Okay. She kind of looks at me like, what do you mean? Like, it's Beyonce's label. So I'm like,
Beyonce?
I mean Parkwood.
Parkwood.
And so you say the Ivy?
No, there is no Ivy. That's the thing. It's just Parkwood. Parkwood Entertainment. And so we just show up. Monday comes, I'm so nervous, and you go there, and it's this massive building just off of Times Square. And you walk inside, you tell them, hey, I'm going to the certain floor, and you know how, I mean, guys, when I say that Beyonce's team moves like the CIA, I mean, it's off the grid, no one knows their next move. Suits. Like, you walk into the lobby, and every floor tells you exactly what company it is, right? It might be like SpaceX, Tesla, like it has all of that.
So you know exactly where you're going.
Her floor doesn't have the name.
Hey,
so you just say, hey, I'm coming to what, and they sign you in. You go upstairs, you buzz the door, they go, you open, and as you walk in, they say, sign the NDA. You're like, yo? Immediately at the door before you even cross the threshold. And so I went over there and just had a meeting with a woman there who is one of the A&Rs. She's still there. She's amazing. Her name is Mariel Gomez. And I just played her records, and I was like, all I know is that they liked the African music that I was doing, the Afrobeat stuff. And so I went in there, I was like, I'm just going to be a resource and just like speak about music in the way that I know about it. And
you're out here being Bubele, bro, and you're playing her your African beats, bro, and you just like, you beat yourself. I like that part of the story.
And that was it. And then I didn't hear from them for like 8 months.
Crazy.
And then
how were you feeling in those 8 months, though?
I tried.
Let's talk to the feelings.
No, dude. That thing, when I tell you it was the most tumultuous time of my life. It was crazy, up and down. So I don't hear from them. I'm like, oh, it's dead. 8 months later, I'm in LA on my first ever riding trip, sleeping on a friend's couch, and I'm about to leave the next day, and then. No, not the next day, that same day. I'm actually about to go to the airport in 2 hours. And then I get a call, and it's Mariel. I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good. She's like, cool. Listen, where are you? I'm like, oh, I'm in LA. I'm just about to leave. My flight's in 2 hours. She's like, don't get on the plane. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, don't get on the plane. I'll be back. And she drops the call. So now I'm like,
movie shit, bro.
Okay, dude, I physically can't afford to buy a ticket home. Like, I can't afford to buy a new ticket. So, literally, so I was like, okay, I'm going to wait 45 minutes. At 45, I'm calling my Uber because I can't, if I miss my flight, she's not going to pay for it. It's just like, oh, sorry, nothing's happening.
No story.
So,
bro, now I'm stuck in LA.
So then I'm like, all right, no, what's going to happen? Again, the CIA comes back with it. It's like 43 minutes before, and I'm like, I'm going to call my Uber in 2 minutes. I get an email from Mariel. New ticket, my government name, and like everything is just there. I'm like,
hey,
when did this happen?
And then they send a car.
In the NDA.
They send the car. pick me up, and
kidnapped, brother.
My boy, no, making it look cool.
I thought about it multiple times.
Get style.
And then they took me to this like apartment, what do you call it? Hotel in Beverly Hills, like a little boutique hotel in Beverly Hills, and they spent the night. They're like, be ready tomorrow at 2. The next day at 2, a car pulls up. You just get in, you know, the blacked out stuff.
Yeah.
Get in. You go to this unmarked location in LA. Hit a like buzz on the door. Sounds like a prison cell. You like walk down this pathway that I remember so distinctly because it's just black.
Wow.
But back is just like an exit sign that just looks demonic, like you're walking towards your death. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
I know, guys, you got me.
And I open the door, and there's just a bouncer, just name, and you just give him your name and goes, cool. And then it's this beautiful building that, like, it's their office building. And at that point, they'd converted.
Different universe.
Yeah, they converted their office building into multiple studios. So it's like there's the documentary that speaking about the album. At that point, we still don't know what we're working on. Yeah. It was multiple little.
What you hear in the CIA shop, bro.
Yeah.
You know what you're working on.
Don't know what you're working on. You get there, then there's multiple little rooms. There's like 9 little studios, and then that's when they tell us, this is what we're working on. This is what we're going to be doing. The aim of the game is just make as much music as you can.
How many people are you there with at the time?
It depends on the day. Like I think they ran that camp for a month or so.
Okay. That's nice.
So yeah, I was there for a week, and I got to meet like there were just big names in and out, and like the biggest of the big names are there, and you're getting to be in rooms with people who are like, yo, dude, I gotta go. I'm on with Big Sean in 20 minutes. I'm like, what? Like,
excuse me?
Like crazy things. Yeah, but it's amazing because like when you're in a space like that, there's no real ego because you're all just trying to get records on this thing. And if you've made it to this point, they respect you. Even though I was by far the least qualified person in any of those sessions, everyone's like, you're here for a reason. So
exactly, we have to treat you with that respect.
You treat, and you're literally there like, I'm like, yo, why don't we do this? And I'm like, hey, yeah. The guy's like, yeah, that's cool. And I'm like, bro, you have like 10 songs with Kanye and you're taking my advice. You know, that's like a very weird thing, but that's, I think, where I got this thing of like, it doesn't really matter. Once you're in the creative zone, it's just about that.
Please can you run us through the day you found out that something that you worked on was going to actually be on the album?
The first day, so there's multiple stages. The first day, I was in Joburg driving home. I get a call from Marielle again. She's like, what are you doing? I'm saying, I'm driving home. She says, pull over.
Stop doing this, Marielle. My heart.
That is good for you.
My heart.
You can't just be giving big news like that.
Bro, now the car's going like this.
Pull over. She's like, my boss likes your song. And I'm like, who's your boss? She's like, I can't legally say her name. And I'm like, oh.
CIA.
All right.
And
she's like, okay, we're going to send you a contract and then we'll take it from there. I was like, cool. That was it. Didn't hear back from them again for 8 months. And then I get an email saying, the track list is dropping tonight. You are not supposed to speak about this. Do not take any interviews. Before the track list is coming out. You are not supposed to speak about anything. Don't take any interviews, anything like that. Just the track list is coming out. They don't want anyone speaking about anything. So I'm like, okay, that's a pretty good sign. Like, but I also don't know if they've sent that to everyone who was at the camp. Because typically what happens is they just take the song and they disappear, right? So I'm like, okay, I think this is a good sign. And then the track list comes out, and then I kind of see a title. I'm like, I think that's the thing, but I'm not sure. I think it is. I'm not sure. And then eventually I get a call from Marielle, and she's like, can I play you something? I'm like, yeah. And then over the phone, very badly, she basically took the phone and put it to the speaker and played the song. Exactly. And I was like, whose voice is that? She's like, you know. And I was like, find your way back. Okay.
I had
no idea. But even then, she's like, there was some legal things that we had to sort out. So it was just a mess. And that was the up and down. There I was like so scared. I was like, I'm going to get sued. It was a whole thing that was really intense. And I didn't have a lawyer at that time. And that's one of the biggest advice when I'm saying, if you're in the music industry, get a lawyer. Because I got hurt. But I learned school fees. It was bad. It was really bad. And I learned some things along the way. So, positive experience, but it hurt when I learned certain things of how the music industry works if you don't have representation. And still I was like, okay, cool, I've heard her voice on it over the phone. I don't know anything. And then the day, still I don't know if the song is out. And then the day that it came out, I played song number 1, nope. Played number 2, nope. Played number 3. And then I heard the beat and I was like, oh my God, that's it. And that was it. That was it. And I just went into my parents' room. I was like, "Ma!" Like,
yeah. Talk about the song, bro. Like the name. Can I mention the name?
Yeah.
Find Your Way Back. Banger. What's the story behind the song? Like, how did you come up with that concept? Like, what's going on?
So with that song, the person who wrote the top line is this writer named Stara. Stara is dope. Like one of the biggest writers in the game, and she wrote the top line. Yeah. I did the beat. Yeah. So me and my friend Robert McGuenzi, and we did it in Joburg like over December, one random day. Ekoli. We
came from South A.
We were literally in the lounge, and he had his guitar, and we just like made this beat, the two of us, in like an hour and a half, 2 hours, just chilling. And then it sat on my hard drive for years.
Did you think much of it at the time?
I loved it. I did love it. And whenever I pitched it or showed it to other record executives, they're like, nah. So I had it for about 2 years.
Bro, it wasn't made for them, bro. It wasn't made for them.
Yeah.
Literally said it's not for me. Sorry.
Yeah. That was it. And I'm glad that happened, right?
100%. So, it worked out, man.
Yeah. So
it
was a good time.
I think now let's expand this vision, man. Let's talk about the imports, bro. Let's talk about it. Like, how's the imports?
It used to be Lobo, bro.
Yeah.
We got the whole backstory here, man.
Yeah.
Nah, no, the imports. That's the bar. That's the bar.
Okay.
How the imports doing right now? How are you doing?
Let's pause. I just want to wipe my face.
Welcome to the Posties. In the kitchen?
In the kitchen.
In the kitchen.
Yes, sir. Guys, this episode is brought to you by Chicks and Chops. Our friends at Chicks and Chops, they got us trying some new food today. You've seen them before, and as you can see, we got a special guest for you. We gotta feed him, guys.
Yeah.
So let's tap in. It's beef, guys. Beef today.
So it's like this is the first time they ever made this item.
It's a world premiere.
It's a world premiere.
Crazy.
Guys, we're tapping into some beef burgers today.
Okay.
Thank you, Cheeks. Oh, Cheeks.
Chicks and Chops.
Cheeks would have been crazy.
Yeah.
Pause.
VAR this man, bro.
Nice.
But the Chicks and Chops has not let me down yet.
Dude, and as always, I made sure I spoke to him. There's a lot of sauces.
There's a lot of sauces.
Because I know you like this look, dude. I know you like the sauces, my brother.
This review is already getting stellar.
That looks good. Ooh, that looks good.
Are these all different burgers?
Nah. Three of the same. They're beef burgers.
The salad is
Don't worry, guys. Chicks and Chops takes care. The LA way.
The salad is more.
The LA way.
I'm sorry, I'm vegan.
Here you go.
Are these buns gluten free?
Hey, yo, shout out vegans. Some of the best people in the world are vegans, man.
Are the buns gluten free?
They're gluten free. They're gluten rich, man. I'm not lying.
Alright. First, I need to see this chip.
Yeah, I get you. You gotta just equate the mathematics. It's a mathematics. Is this the only sauce they supplied?
Yeah.
There's no more sauces?
Yeah, the bag's empty.
Here you go.
And everything is empty.
Oh, no, I didn't see the white sauces. You gotta have the
I'm sorry, that's on me.
The
Rainbow Nation.
Okay, let's see what's in here.
Woo!
They gave us the wing situation again, guys.
Okay, did you try the fries?
Yeah. Tried the potato wedges, bro. Potato wedges.
How then?
Alright. Let me see.
Ooh, guys, let's have it at the same time. Yeah. Okay.
The fries are good, by the way.
Okay. Ooh, sheesh, this is looking good. Ooh, the cheese is cheesing. Okay.
Cheesing.
3, 2, 1. That is a healthy burger. That is a lot on that, and I love it.
This is a full burger. This is a full burger.
I'm hungry.
I didn't realize. Yeah. I think they won. We all are taking second bites. This review is successful.
Yeah, the silent reviews are the best ones. That's when you know we're winning. Okay, guys, let's tap into the wings.
So we all say 2 bites in the chicken. That's a good burger. I mean, you know, you're tasting it, but you had to go for another one.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wings going crazy.
I'm still fighting the burger. The burger is beautiful.
Okay.
It's got some spice, a bit of a kick.
I need to meet you wing there.
Who's that food reviewer on TikTok? Let's try it, review it, and do it 1 to 10.
I don't. I'm doing 1 to 10. Okay, what's the chicken wing out of 10?
Ooh, and it's not too spicy though.
It stops.
Cause sometimes spice fights me, guys.
It goes.
But
and
this
stops.
one, No, guys, I'm enjoying the wings. It's a holistic meal. It's taking care of us. Thank you, Chicks and Chops.
Thank you, Chicks.
Sheesh, guys. And now back to the episode.
Cheeks and tops.
So I'll build on Alex's question a little bit with the imports, because we had a conversation a couple of years ago, and I was just like picking your brain about like how your journey is like with the specific artists that you deal with, and you said like yourself, David, the imports, you're not necessarily trying to curate the import sound, but you really wanna get involved in each artist's journey, where they're trying to go. Yes. So how is that like when you're building so many different relationships and trying to actually create a sound that is like specific for each artist?
I think that it's easy when the artist knows what they want to say. It's like a back and forth. That's so cool. And that's so easy.
No problem.
It's easy when the artist knows what to say or what they want to say, and then you sort of build the world brick by brick. I think that when you have an intention, like we've been working on Manana's debut album now, and that's been 2 EPs leading up to this album, and we sort of refine things as we go, and by the time we got to this album, we sort of know what we're trying to say, and this is how weird we want things, and this is how cool we want things, and this is how like
you understand each other, you understand the work.
We have a shorthand, like when we're in sessions, we don't. I sort of know what he's gonna say before he says it, and then we do it, and then we always get to a point where we fight about something, and
fighting shorthand.
Yeah, you just fight, be like, bro, this is too much now, and then you just go back and forth. But we have so much trust that we know that we're doing it. There's no ego in it.
Yeah.
It's just about the product, and so immersing yourself in an artist sound is fun when you are brave enough and they allow you to take chances to try and discover what that sound is.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah,
I love that. Okay, no, Babs, Bubele. Excusez-moi. Excusez-moi. The interesting part about the imports, and the interesting part that I like about the imports is how there's been stages of growth, you know. There was obviously the varsity phase, then there was the disjointed phase when you guys were in separate countries, and then there's now the phase where you guys are solid together, like hitting boundaries. How did you guys manage to maintain such a strong connection to each other and to the music?
I think that when you're bound together by something other than just your relationship, I think it's easier to use that as your North Star.
I resonate with that.
I think the mission is bigger than just the two of us. And I think that in different stages things look different. You know, at the beginning we were coming together doing the things, then we worked very separately but still together, and then we moved to LA and we're doing everything together, and then now we're in a period where we're both in LA, but we're actually realizing that in order to pay bills we need to do twice as much of the work, and that means each of us has to operate as a separate producer. And that means David's running a session and I'm running a session. We have 2 studios in the house and we can do that, and then at the end of the day we'll come and be like, oh, how was your song? It's like, yeah, this is pretty dope. And how was yours? Yeah, dope. And then we co-produce like that, but we have to, because we're paying double the rent. You know, we actually can't both be in every single session, otherwise.
Was it hard getting that system like in place with them?
Yeah, I think it was hard to get to that point, because sometimes it can be a bit scary. I think for both of us it's like, are we breaking up or something? But that's not actually what's happening. It's more us being like, we need the autonomy to explore things that we might have bigger strengths in, you know, and certain rooms,
the conversation,
certain rooms that we might be more comfortable in than the other person. Like my skill set might be more leaning this way and David's skill set might be more leaning this way, and turning those differences into multiplication. Like you have to get to the point where 1 + 1 = 3, because if you don't, like it's tough. You know, what we found when we sat back and really took it in is that in LA we were like becoming so codependent on each other that instead of 100%, like it being like 100% plus 100%, so we're operating at 200%, it was exactly, we were going 50-50, maybe 60-60, so still the output is 120, but that's not enough to cover the bills of 2 people.
Yeah, I get that. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Now it's just about supporting each other and cheerleading each other and being like, dude, this song is dope. And it's funny because like you never know where the thing's gonna come from. I'll do a session and then be like, this song is dope, and it goes no, and then David will do a session and he'll be like, oh, the song is alright, and then like a month later we get a deal memo for it, and it's like multiple thousands of dollars, and I'm like, dude, you crushed it, like, what do you mean? You know, you never know where the thing is coming from, so you just have to cheer each other on, be like, this is dope, you are dope, go for it, you know.
A little bit on that journey, I have a question about, because you've touched on like so many of like the ebbs and flows with the waiting 8 months at a time, when you think something's gonna make it and it doesn't. I just want to touch a little bit about maybe your process with your mental health in that time, with like dealing with anxiety, dealing with maybe fears of doubt on some, is this the right thing? Like, how do you actually tackle that?
It's actually very hard. I think it's doubly hard because the industry, there's no linear path and every day is a fight, but also being in a foreign land where you have no community, or literally like to the point where like I can go 2 weeks without seeing another black person sometimes. I'm like, that's crazy. I've never been a minority in my life.
Actually a minority?
Yeah, genuinely, it has a completely.
I don't understand what that means. I mean, I understand it in different contexts, but not in terms of my race.
Yeah, it is wild to do that. So when you're battling with that, you have to. I think for me, something that's helped is having people like my brother, my parents, my sister, like to be able to call them. Is so important. But then after that, you have to sort of hypothesize about. You have to have a very clear vision of why you're doing this thing. And then you have to go and you have to take autonomy over the thing. That's what I've realized in the last years. I can't wait for other people to say yes. Right? People love to be on the thing when there's momentum. So what's helpful for my mental health is like, oh, I'm building this company with some friends, or like I'm working on this beat tape just for me, or I'm like doing these things, and then what you find is like, oh, I'm putting this out in a month, and then an artist hears the beat, it's like, oh, I want to use it, and you're like, cool, you can use it, but just know if you don't put it out by July, I'm gonna put it out, and that mentally like changes something in there.
The train doesn't stop moving no matter what.
You're no longer waiting for other people. So is this the right thing? You just have to keep moving and finding the joy in the thing. That's what I know. It sounds so cliche, but like enjoy the process. But when you genuinely get to that point where I'm like, I'm enjoying the process and I'm able to pay my rent doing this thing, it becomes a different ball game. And it's a different chat. And
in the chat.
For instance, like
in the chat.
Perfect example is that when you get to LA, you're like, I want sessions with all the big names, whatever. And I've realized that actually doesn't get you that far. The interesting thing is you can have those songs and those cuts with those people. People look at you and you get clout, but they're already going to do those things. Like at the end of the day, Beyonce was going to be Beyonce with or without my track. So when people see that, they're like, dope. That's dope. It gives me a bit of credibility, but it doesn't change my life. When I say that this work that we've done with Manana and the work that we've done with Will has done more for my career than the song with Beyonce, I mean it.
Wow. And actually, that was my next point that I want to touch on, because you did talk about like being in a foreign land. But like what was so beautiful for me last year when you guys had a writing camp in LA and Manana was there, and Will Lindy was there, you were there, you and David, and literally, of course, Abo Boy was also there. Like, how beautiful was it having a little bit of slice of South Africa in LA?
The happiest moment.
It's like a room in Joburg.
It was the happiest. It was. I can't even tell you how happy it made me. It's the best thing. There's something about the South African flair. And I'll tell you guys an exclusive. That's all right.
Sure.
We love those.
Only on Posties.
So okay, and I won't keep it too long. How's the time?
No, dude.
Right.
Go off.
Okay, so we have a business manager, right? And they throw a party every year. This business manager, one of their main clients is the Chainsmokers. So the Chainsmokers throw this big party.
The rock stars.
Every year. There's this alcohol company called Haha. And
I hear you. I get it.
And they threw this party. So our business manager's like, pull up to this thing. So we're like, all right, cool. We're gonna go to this thing. It's a party. Let's go to this big party. So we're like, okay, cool. Where's it? Beverly Hills. They've rented out this crazy mansion. We get there and there's a queue into the house. I'm like, yo, what's going on? And then we look in the queue and we have like top 10 producers. We have
in the queue.
YouTubers. We have all these things.
Not in the queue.
Just in the line outside. I'm like, you're never getting it.
Not in the queue.
And it's me, it's Abo, it's Will, it's David, it's our roommate Furman. And Sam from X Ambassadors is like on the same management as us, the six of us. Sam picks up the phone and calls our business manager. He's like, yo, we're outside, we can't get in. He's like, all right, I'll come fetch you. And bear in mind now, our business manager is like a frat boy. Like an American frat bro through and through. I love him. But
Stereotypical, that's what he is.
But he walks up to the bouncer and he's like, they're with me. So okay. So we go here, we scooch past people, and then you run to the bridge, and then they block Wabo. And we're like, no, he's with us. He's like, no. He's like, no, he's with us. We bring our business manager back. Who points out, I was like, they have one more. And we're like, who? We're like, the black man in the beanie. and we know Wabo loves his beanies.
Of course.
And so I was like, and he's like, sorry, David Dobrik. And I was like, crazy. I mean, like these guys are way more successful, way more famous than all of us. But moves in, and we go inside, and then there's a red carpet, and we walk in, and it's just every TikTok influencer you've ever seen. It's like that's the most Hollywood thing we've ever seen. And we're there like, bruh, what is happening here? Like, then we walk inside the house, mansion. It's like no one should live in a house like this. You walk inside, and we're just chilling, and we're like, oh, that's Niall Horan. That's G-Eazy. That's Murder Beats. What is happening? Start moving from, it's like, yo, I think I just walked past Selena Gomez. I'm like, cat. And then you look at it, it's Selena Gomez. I'm like, what is this party? So now it's just this mansion, open bar, whatever, and we're just having a good time. And we get there, and it's the weirdest collection of people. It's like every influencer on TikTok, plus every dope like musician in LA, plus finance people. Like people who have money. So we're like, we are the poorest, the least successful, and the least famous people here. It's gonna have fun. So now you know how happens. Wait, and you're together. At this point,
have the most fun.
At this point, we're like, let's go. Send. We just have a good time. We're bouncing around. We're chatting to people. Now also, I'm like unaware, so I'm chatting to people. I was like, that's a big YouTube. I'm like, I don't watch YouTube. Well, you're just having a good time. We get to the dance floor. And we just dance, so that send it, we enjoy it. We are going in, and our business managers, they're groovy. We pull them in, we just have the best time because we have nothing to lose. Absolutely nothing to lose. And at the end of this night, we get home, we're all groggy. It's like, it was a big night, and we go onto the haha page just to see what stories are happening. So everyone's like, when you're recounting stories about last night, exactly. So much fun, right?
Said something in my ear.
Like just a wild time. At the end of the night, we're like, let's see what's happening on the haha page. So we go on the haha page, and then we start seeing like stories. And as we click through the stories, it's us. Just on the dance floor. One story.
They made sure to capture it.
Next story.
That's the vibe. It's the vibe.
That was it. It was crazy. And so now I'm like, who posted this? It's some person who has 1 million followers. Okay, next. 3 million followers. How? Next. 500,000 followers. All of these people that are posting us are like big Instagram people, whatever.
Circle.
And I'm like, that was so weird. And it just kind of like was the weirdest night, but also was like, this is what LA is. All of these very influential people or whatever, big followings, are filming us but not joining in. They're like, look at this party that I'm at. It's so cool. But
I'm having so much fun.
But you was like, were you?
When did you have fun, bro?
Like, when did you let your guard down?
When did you have fun? They're having fun.
And that was like, it became very clear in that moment. It's like, I don't need to be rolling in these circles. You just want to be around authentic people who want to have a good time. And that night we have stories from it, but it's not like we have any clout. We didn't take pictures with celebrities. We didn't, none of that. Anyone can listen to the story and not believe us, but it doesn't matter. Like, because we lived it, and we also saw that, like, at the end of the day, the coolest people in the room are not the most famous. They're not. I mean, like, people like Murder Beat. That guy was just mean mugging the whole time, and I respect his career so much. But I don't think he's the type of who was gonna be.
But whatever track was playing, whether it's feeling it or not.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think he was gonna be that brute, and that's okay. But I realized that I am. And you want people who are around in that same way, and it just made me realize that like the coolest people in the room are the people who are the most comfortable with themselves, aren't there to look cool and don't mind acting the fool.
100%. I agree with that.
I think before we wrap here with our last segment, I just wanna see if you wanna highlight anything that's coming up in your 2024.
Manana's album.
Do we have a date for that?
We don't.
Okay.
I'm legally disallowed from saying such things, but I will say that a specific feature that we've been waiting for came in.
Oh,
okay. That's nice. We're excited about it. And we have another possible one that might sneak in under the radar. So it's just people that we look up to and
that want to be a part of this video.
Yes, exactly. Okay. And I think it is beautiful. For me, it is some of my favorite music that I've ever made. It is creating from purely a point of creativity and love for this thing. I think it is something that everyone's gonna
I think it's really beautiful. So beautiful. So beautiful, so beautiful.
Yeah. So look out for that.
Yeah.
Be at some of the listening sessions if you can. We've been playing the album for people.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing.
Yeah. I didn't want to say too much. I'm scared.
Have you heard it?
I'm scared. Yeah.
No! Now I'll get my time. Alex.
Yes, sir.
Happen, my boy.
Hey, yo. Now, before we wrap the show, right? We always end up the show with a top five.
Off?
Wait.
Hey, we're talking about beats, bro. The top five is the segment of the show where Tim and I each ask you a specific thing, like a category, in which you list 5 things that you like. So, for example, 5 favorite sneaker brands. You'll be like, okay, my favorite are Nike,
New Balance,
whatever, New Balance, Tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
We get it. Alright, cool. Tim, you want to go first?
Yeah. I'm gonna recycle this one because I think I use this one when I need to get like the insight from you, like this.
Okay.
5 songs you wish that you were there when they were produced.
Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson, and then that song changed my life.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible. Teenage Dream by Katy Perry. I think that is a seminal pop piece of music. Time by Hans Zimmer.
I get you. I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
It's absolutely stunning. There's this song called Ego by what's the song? Candy Drip by Lucky Day.
Okay.
Unbelievable. And what would be my last? This is a hard one. This is a very very hard song.
Yeah.
Hard thing to pick. Songs that I love with my whole heart. It's actually different to like songs that I wish I produced versus songs that I just love. But I think it must be Stacks by Bon Iver. That's just like
that's a powerful top 5.
Yeah, that's a powerful top 5.
Oh, one more. Okay,
honorable mention.
No, it has to replace on. Stacks will be the honorable mention.
Okay.
Kanye West Monster. That beat.
Fair enough.
And then that's
fair enough.
Splitting my head, sorry.
Yeah.
Alex, take us away.
Alright, Babs. So we know your favorite sneakers, and we know that you're on a new vibe, right?
Sure.
Give me 5 things you can't leave the house without.
Ooh, 5 things I will not leave the house without. Okay.
Yeah.
AirPods.
AirPods.
I won't leave the house without AirPods, and not for music. I don't listen to music in my day to day.
Really?
Really?
That's a weird thing.
I didn't expect that.
I've heard that it's always you guys who always like that, man.
In the car.
Who's you guys?
The producers.
Yeah.
The best producers don't listen to music.
It's because like we're in the studio for 9 hours listening to music, and at the end of that you don't want to listen to more.
I'd rather punch holes.
So I literally sit in silence and just listen to my own thoughts or podcasts. But I love a podcast. I'm the type of person who will listen to like the psychology of money in the gym.
I get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's definitely
AirPods.
AirPods for sure. I love a necklace. Right now I'm wearing a gold one.
Yes, sir.
Right now I'm wearing a gold one, but I love my pearls.
Ooh, yeah. Is there a little something in the bottom?
It's just like a
little situation.
Yeah, actually this is David's girlfriend's chain.
Hey.
I stole it from her, and I'm just waiting for her to fight me to get it back.
Hey yo, you heard it
here first on Posties. This is where it is. You've been looking for it. It's actually on Posties.
This man.
What else do I have to have? My phone is not one of my top 5. I
Okay.
sometimes like leaving.
What
my
are you
phone
listening
at
to your
home.
podcast on?
My Apple Watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't play with the boy. Don't play with the boy.
I don't need to be accessible all the time.
I
And also,
hear
when
you.
you're
I
living in
get
2
that.
different time zones, it means that someone's always wanting something from you.
Yeah. Someone's awake and busy, and
Yeah,
they
so I
need
just
to be
leave it
busy
at
with
home. Don't need that. But those are like my genuine things. I don't carry much else on me. I mean, it's like my wallet and my license, but I travel light. When I leave, I
on the go.
Want my AirPods that'll make me happy, and just go for it.
Hey man, sounds beautiful. Yeah. Sounds beautiful. You know what else was beautiful?
What?
Having you here, man.
Thank you.
For the first time, but not for the last time. Sheesh. Thank you so much for coming on the Posties podcast. It was a long time coming, and it's not the last time it's going on because you're doing amazing things in the world. You're an inspiration definitely for us, what we're trying to build here, and also what we're trying to show the Posties family. Yes, so thank you for being here. Thank you for being you.
Thank you for having me. Guys, genuinely, you guys are an inspiration. I'm excited for the future of the podcast and everything that we're working on. You know,
Oh man!
Can't say too much.
Maybe in part 2 we'll talk about that. Maybe.
There's an NDA.
As you know, we've been talking about NDAs this whole podcast. But Bubs, thank you so much. Alex, thank you so much for being my partner in crime.
Man.
Shout out Eve. Shout out the live studio audience. I see you too.
Hey!
Yeah, and the booths outside that are very hot and mad at us. Hey guys!
The live studio audience.
Exactly. But guys, as always, thank you so much for being a part of this journey, for liking, commenting, subscribing, listening to all of the music that Imports is putting out. Manana, Will Lindley, Sishi. There's a lot. But guys, as always, the journey continues.
Nice guys.